Welcome to Radiant Souls podcast, episode number 5. Today, I'm excited to welcome onto this episode, Adrienn Light. Adrienn is a walk-in light body consciousness holder, a channeler, and a living embodiment of Anfrinit, the guardian of crystal clear consciousness. Adrienn is a channeler and frequency holder located in southern Spain. In 2016, Adrienn underwent a profound, spontaneous, life-changing experience that she could only describe as enlightenment or a massive transformation. Since then, everything has shifted. She received a profound calling during a solo retreat in 2016 while meditating and fasting. Through meditation, she had incredible experiences that transcended the physical realm. She recalls her old three-dimensional vessel transforming into a light body, liberating her spirit and connecting her to a new frequency. Over the next 2 years, she learned to communicate, assimilate, and integrate this new energy. Anfrinit is a frequency holder, a clear channel through all existences, aligning your multi-dimensional self to vibrate in an uplifted state connected to your higher self. She assists in rewiring and equilibrating your core essence blueprint, opening portals to your different existences through frequencies, ultimately liberating you from the incarnational cycle. I look forward to today's conversation and hope that you enjoy the topics that come up and the information that comes through. These podcasts are not planned, they're organic, and they flow with the frequency and the energy that is most prevalent and ready to come through. Please also remember to like this episode, subscribe to the channel, and also share the content with anyone that you think might be interested in hearing today's conversation. If there's any insight that comes through that inspires you, any awarenesses or aha moments that you have, please share in the comments and highlight those and let us know what you found valuable. I now go forward and welcome onto today's episode, Adrienn Light. Welcome, Adrienn Light, to the Radiant Souls podcast, episode 5. How are you today?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to connect with you deeply and so happy to be here with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here and joining. I look forward to seeing where the conversation flows and what comes up today. So why don't we start with you sharing with people who you are and a little bit about your journey and let people know who you are and what you're about.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you for holding such a feminine space, feminine energies. I'm really enjoying to being in your field and connecting with you. So yes, my name is Adrienn Light, and I had a profound transformation, and also I could call it spontaneous transformation because it wasn't something that I was preparing for in 2016. And it ended up in that my original soul was liberating from this vessel, from this physical body, and a new spirit connected to this vessel, to this body. And a few days later, I experienced how my three-dimensional body was changed to a light body. At that moment, I didn't know that it's called light body. I just experienced that I'm receiving a new body. And when I came out from the transformation, from the energy work, I experienced that this new body works differently than the other in every sense. So I needed to learn how this new body works and how I can settle down this new energy into Earth's plane. And also with the time I received the information, the messages, what actually happened with me at that moment. And then came 2 years in my life where I really just settled down this very big transformation, and I was learning how to have to navigate in this life with this new body and with this new spirit. So basically everything changed. How I received messages, how I was connected, and how my body worked, functioned. So everything. And then 2 years later, when my body was settled enough, I started to receive the message that I have to hold the space for others who would like to experience the same transformation, how they are able to change their three-dimensional physical vessel and connect to their light body. So I started to guide through different online programs and retreats the space for those beings who were seeking this transformation. And then later, so with the time, each year my vessel started to be more stable and more powerful, more grounded. And then arrived a time when I could 100% embody and grant Anfrinit. Anfrinit is a higher dimensional spirit who connects to crystal clear consciousness. And I'm working through her and holding a space for this transformation be able to happen in the earth plane. So recently I just finished to download through Anfrinit system, which is a 4 modules system, which revolves the whole creation and helps the soul, the person who is doing this these modules to connect to their crystal clear consciousness and revolve their multidimensional field. So this is what I'm doing now and assisting this service.
Beautiful. So you went through a profound transformation that shifted your body in the 3D to a higher consciousness and changed your vessel into this new blueprint that brought in, that awakened or brought in codes for you that you were meant to carry forward and help people unlock in their own reality, it sounds. Am I understanding correct?
Yes, this is what happened. It was planned even before my incarnation here to Earth. But as before, I wasn't connected that much, so I wasn't aware of this plan. So everything happened spontaneously for me at that moment. And of course, later I understood everything and received the purpose of it.
Hmm. What term do you give to that experience? Is it a spontaneous awakening? Is it a walk-in experience? How do you like when you think about it, how do you explain that to people if they're not like, I understand what you're saying, but someone else might not. And so do you have a way of explaining that might help someone understand, especially if they're going through something like that?
Mm. Yes, so it was a period of time what happened. And then the first how it began, it was a walking experience. So walking experience can happen in several situations. Very common when someone is in a near-death experience, I mean physically, and there at that moment opens different portals in the body which allows for the soul to liberate from the physical vessel, and that moment another soul can enter or can connect into this vessel. Normally the purpose of it, there are souls and beings who doesn't want to go through the whole process of rebirth and all the development. So they have this possibility at that moment that they can enter into the body and continue a life and experience Earth's plane through this vessel. I didn't have a near-death experience, so I just started my own retreat. It wasn't my intention to experience all this. I just started to meditate, and at that moment, I experienced how I started to be assisted through light beings, and I wanted a nut. So this is how I experienced. This is how it happened. I was guided. I was assisted during the whole time. And maybe if I'm hearing myself like this, it's a little bit scary, but I wasn't scared because I felt the guidance, the divine guidance all the time. So it wasn't scary at all. And then followed this moment 4 weeks where they were working on my body. So the next significant step was when I experienced how my vessel, how my three-dimensional body just stays there, and I receive a whole new body. And literally, when I came out from that experience, I had to learn again how to walk, and how I saw all the life. It was like through a holographic reality, and immediately everything like opened. I started to receive the vaccine, what is behind of all this reality. It was so strange. And I remember then after this, because I was on the beach meditating, I had to drive my car, and it was so difficult at the beginning how to drive. And so yes, everything was so interesting. I was in this experience during 4 weeks, and then when the 4 weeks ended, then the work was finished, and then came the time when I could integrate to all this what happened, and put all the puzzles to its place, and understand that. Imagine that now you are who you are, but 2 minutes later, you are a whole new person with new abilities and with new things. So it's just amazing. I could take it all because I was assisted the whole time, so the space was holding for me, and this is how I was able to integrate all this what happened.
Yeah, it's helpful to have that safe space, that container created when we're going through a profound transformation, and that time where it continues to be held while we're integrating the new codes, the new experience, and understanding how to walk in this dimension with a new template would be that safe space is very helpful for sure. So it sounds to me like in your work as well, in guiding people and helping them through these transformations in their life, that you're holding that container for people so that they can also go through their transformation in a safe way as well, correct?
Exactly how I work. I help them to enter to their multidimensional consciousness, to be aware of the energy field which holds all the multidimensional existence of the self, and then I help them to expand the consciousness through that experience, to be able to clear all their channels, and in the end to connect to crystal clear consciousness. The 4 modules, I was working on them 2 years, and to download them, it was so intense and sometimes difficult, because when you are taking whole new information for the first time to this field, to this dimension, it's so difficult to enter and yes, ground this energy here and this information here. All the models that I granted, it's working with different aspects of the self, and through that experience is the self able to awaken to the whole creation of the self, and be able to consciously receive and see all the multidimensional layers of the self.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'm curious, when I'm listening to you talk about the process, when someone finds you and they, start to work with you, what is the common experience that someone is having when they realize that you're my person? I'm ready to work with you. What are they feeling? What are they experiencing?
They always immediately know that the call, so they feel the call. So whenever they hear me speaking or see me, they immediately feel that it's for them. And when I start to work with the person, I receive that the soul of this person is waiting for this opportunity through lifetimes and lifetimes. Normally, the soul is trapped into an incarnational spiral and repeat the same pattern, same informations, until the self is not break this spiral, this pattern. And that moment, the self is able to liberate from that spiral and be able to connect to another consciousness. So basically, when I start to work with the persons, I break all the spiral and help them to inject consciousness into their self and dissolve their subconscious field, and through this process be able to clear all their lineage of the soul, of the spirit, of the existence, and like this create a whole new existence from consciousness within. When I start to work with the people, they go through amazing experiences. Every person is different, so the experiences that they receive is so unique and is different. Each person has a different experience and how they are processing all this. One is common with all, that they dissolve the illusion where they were connected before. So they start to awaken from the unconscious state, and they start to awaken to their self, and then they will be guided from that moment forever. So everybody is guided, but when you are in an illusion of duality, you have the illusion of separation, which is a kind of cloud or something beyond of the head, which doesn't allow you to connect. But imagine that when this cloud disappears and you are always connected. So you are awakened to your own self, to your own spirit, and start to clear all the layers of your multidimensional self, which is important to know, that when someone starts to work with me, we are not working with this current incarnation. We are tapping into the multidimensional field of the self, and we are working with all these layers and portals at the same time. And this is how we are unlocking and liberating the self from all the different layers which holds the spirit.
Beautiful. And I love that your work goes, through all timelines and dimensions. It's really connecting people in, beyond the current moment and what the current reality is of their experience, but it's clearing, connecting through many layers and sort of unlocking that maybe original blueprint that allows them to, like you said, clear and be open and then be guided from that space forward. That's really important work.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to share with you the four modules and what they are working. I channeled them, remembering to my incarnation, to my existence in that field, and I took the sacred teachings from that layer, from that timeline. The model 0, which is the first model from Anfrinit system, works with Atlantis and water. And in that module, we are working with the layer when the spirit creates from subtle to form. So that moment when the soul starts to getting form is basically how we are incarnating into this three-dimensional field. You are an energy, your soul, and you starting to denser your frequential field and entering into the three-dimensional field, which is through the three-dimensional illusion is to enter into the belly of your mother and then arriving to this field with a body, with a form. So we are tapping into that moment when the soul transforms from subtle to form, and this transformation it's a kind of difficult, tricky experience. And in this model, we are entering to that field and we are clearing and aligning the informational grid that you can find there of the spirit. And like this, as you clearing and aligning that grid, you are able to be or exist in the form and the subtle at the same way, in an aligned, equilibrated way, conducting consciousness. So normally there are a lot of disalignment and blockages you can find in that part, and that's why the physical experience in life and the matter, it's so difficult for lots of beings, for lots of souls, because they are struggling in this layer. And when you are clearing that grid, that informational grid which connects to the timeline, then you are dissolving all this resistance. And basically this is the problem, is that when someone says that I cannot ground, or I don't feel myself grounded. So all these things coming from this, because we are creating our reality here from the informational grid that we are holding at that vibrational field. And yes, I remembered to these teachings from Atlantis, and we are entering there and aligning that field. And then the module 1 works with the pyramids. We will discover our inner pyramid inside of the body, and we will learn from the spine and what information holds the spine, why it's so important. And also we will learn from our organs and how the organs connected to all our incarnations in this dimension. And we activate our pineal gland and our third eye. These teachings come from ancient Egypt. I trapped in, and I remember that field we were working with these teachings. And then the module 2, it's working on another layer with the straight diamond. These teachings come from Buddhism. So we are activating the head diamond, we are activating the heart diamond and the abdominal, the navel diamond. And each diamond is a multidimensional portal that allows the self to open the consciousness in the two different dimensions. And normally these portals are blocked on the being. Through several incarnations, the self holds their different information that couldn't be digested at that moment. And to not feeling those blockages, these centers are closed. So we are opening these centers through Module 2 and align ourselves with life force energy to connect to source through these centers. And then the module 3 is a treasure of Anfrinit system. It works with the inner hearing, the inner sound. We are activating the inner sound in the being. So it's very similar how the third eye works. So you can see through the third eye, but it's different how you see with your physical eyes. It's very similar when you activate your inner hearing, you are able to receive your inner sound, you are able to receive the frequency of your higher self, and you are able to align your whole multidimensional self to this frequency and equilibrate the self. And through that model, this is the last one, we connect to unity consciousness beyond of all existences. So this is how Anfrinit system, it holds all the creation through the multidimensional self, and then the end connect you back to crystal clear consciousness.
That's really beautiful. And what I want to say right now is I can feel the coding, and you can tell because it's releasing. I can feel just from listening to you talk and explain the models, I can actually feel energy in my body. Like there's heat sensation. I can feel it clearing through my throat, and just going through the first template of thinking about, that birthing. That's kind of what I was thinking about, is that a birthing, like the blueprint that people came through, and really creating a conscious connection in that, and then clearing that, and then how it moved like from the body through the pyramid, into activating the diamond frequency in the different places, into the sound, the reverberation, into allowing that to come into this unity consciousness. I literally felt that in my body as you went through that. And hence why the coughing. Like I tend to sometimes have blockages in my throat. So as you were going through that, I felt it start coming up, and I was just like trying not to cough, but it was just right there. So if anybody watching, I'm a living example right now of how, on a very subtle layer, just listening to you speak and sharing how the Anfrinit system is working, how quickly that can start to release and clear up what might be hanging out there in the system, in the field. So thank you for sharing that explanation. That was very clear and beautiful. And texturized and visual and somatic. That's the words that I would put to your description of the Anfrinit system. And it sounds like it's a very powerful, potent way for people to, catalyze a transformation and to create shape, give shape to their transformation in a really profound way. So with that being said, here now in this moment, just what is resonating for you? Like what's coming through? Like what do you, what are you feeling called to share or express here in this moment?
As you are speaking, I already connected to you, so I'm now in you, and I could share things from you. But
I'm open to however, like you can share what I'm pretty comfortable with, however and whatever needs to come through, because I feel that, medicine and truth is for everyone, right? So feel free, wherever you feel like you'd like to go at this moment. I want to create space and give expression for that. So
yeah, how you was speaking about all this experience, I just wanted to mention that with you, I had an easy work because you are already open. So I already see your portals are open, and whenever I share this information, you are able to tap into the field and all this frequency be able to go through all your body, and immediately you can feel this energy and this experience. So with you it's so easy, but I have not always this kind of persons connecting to me like you. So for example, I had a person who I started to work, I mean, not one, several. And the first day they are saying that, look, Adrienne, I cannot meditate, I cannot connect, I don't receive any messages. I really just, I'm so fascinating what you're saying, but I cannot channel, I'm not open. And they started to follow the guidance, and we started to work, and at the end of the program their crown portal open, and they were able to channel and receive information. And my physical self, because here we are speaking from two selves, so my physical self was amazed from this transformation, that from the state of they was saying that, look, Adrienne, I don't receive anything, I cannot meditate, and in a few days they opened themselves and they started to receive everything. So it was amazing. I always connect to the person, and I receive the guidance from Anfrinit and from the universe, what the person needs at that moment, and this is how I work with them through the programs. So we have group sessions, and I'm connecting to the whole group, but I'm able to connect to each person one by one and receive that what that person what needs that moment to be able to upgrade to his field. And then I guide them to see there and connect with that part and be able to release those blockages. At the moment when you connect to Anfrinit, the work is much easier because you are supported, and your portals open, so you are in a state where this energy work, where this information freely can flow, and you are able to upgrade your current field and awaken up. So I know that this word is so common and we are using a lot, but this expresses the best way how what's happening, awaken up, how the being awakens up of all the illusion and connect to the true self.
Yeah. So when you're sharing that last bit of information and you're talking about groups and connecting to each individual person, I had a couple thoughts come through, and one is, yes, so many of us are using that terminology of waking up, and we're on one level, we're understanding on the more expansive level. On one level, a lot of people are understanding the waking up terminology and how they're coming, into that. But then they're still in this hurts, I'm struggling, I'm having this health issue, this relationship issue, this career, this real 3D issue in my life. And there is a disconnect between those. It sounds like in some of the people I work with, they're still kind of torn between those two realities, and it's hard for them to bridge that place because the pain and the struggle of where they are is so intense that and the other feels so far out. Can you speak to that a little bit? And for anyone that might be like, this all sounds great, yet I'm struggling with this right now, this is a real life issue. How can someone start to bridge that gap in there?
Yeah, so when you are a state of consciousness or state of reality, you are in 100%, and you are not able to see what is beyond. So when the self is connected, is in a reality, not able to see how this reality created, and Anfrinit what does, it's awaken the self from that illusion, and then connect into the consciousness where you are able to see how you are created all this. And then when you are connecting into the informational grid of your existence, then you see how and where you need to do adjustments to create a whole new reality. And yes, this is that's why, for example, the modules, so you can do it online, and also you can do in a retreat, in an in-person retreat. In an in-person retreat, you are in a retreat place, so you are coming out from your current reality and entering into space where you are guided and where you are supported, and where you are actually be able to tap into that created everything. And that moment when you awaken and see how you created your whole life, your whole existence, and every person in your life, then you are able to align each aspect and then create a new field from that consciousness, which I really like in this work, that it's something that it will belongs to you. So whatever awakening consciousness you achieve, it's yours. So nobody can take it from you. And happens, it's you already have it, this capacity, this consciousness. And yes, which can be tricky at the beginning, that there is no turning back. Which means at the moment when you start to be conscious, at the moment when you start to awaken and reveal all that shadows, all that parts which was in the subconscious field, and you started to do a clearing, you are unable to go back to your unconscious state and continue your life from there. So this is at the beginning, it can be difficult because maybe some part of you still wants to continue and repeat the same patterns. but the other part of you, I mean, 80% of you already, it's a new self, changed, but maybe the 20% wants to continue the old pattern. And in the beginning, maybe you are struggling how you are able to adjust your life and create your life from that new consciousness. But at the end, you are doing it. So you, at the moment when you step into this path, you are guided, and your spirit is with you, supporting your awakening and you're growing. And then you are able to align your life, which resonates with your higher self, and align the whole multidimensional self of you. Because lots of person, they are living their life unconsciously, uh, because the frequency where they are at this moment is not aligned with their spirit and with their multidimensional being, and there is a kind of separation. um, but when you align all this existence, it's everything starts to recalibrate at the beginning inside, and then starts this new field creating outside.
Yes.
I'm sure you experience this also in your
Oh,
life.
absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And that I like also that how you explain that in also relation to your program with the Anfrinit models, because I think it was module 0 was really going into that original, template and, getting like awakening from that point. And that will help, that in my understanding, that would help somebody recalibrate their frequency to what their soul is aligned to, so that also has a ripple effect forward. So the 3D issues can start to appear differently at that moment, and new pathways start to open, and it starts to become more obvious what we can let go of and what's not serving our highest good, and the changes that we need to make. So I like how the Anfrinit system supports this process with people.
Yeah, so that is so important and so good that you are going step by step. So the awakening alignment, it's not happening from one moment to another. You have to gain that consciousness little by little, and which is important that you cannot jump a grade. So you have to have established every layer. And when you establish one, then you can go to next level, to next level. And this is how you are able to build up the whole together. And you need time to integrate all this information, because it's like huge. So it's not something that, for example, happened something in your childhood and okay, we will rewrite that. We're working with your multidimensional existence. So we are tapping into all past lives, all existences in other dimensions. And for it, you need time to integrate all this knowledge and all these capacities which is entering into your field, and how you are able to navigate through three-dimensional field with all this knowledge, with all this consciousness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm also wondering, or feeling into this moment, this time, right? Time is, I want to say elusive, but I don't know if that's the right word that I'm thinking of. But time happens not in a line, right? It's this expanding, contracting process, the waxing and waning of the moon. But with this moment in time, what is the message? Like, what is the message that people need to hear now?
I'm not working with these messages and how we are going with the evolution and the earth, because how I'm receiving is that all what we are receiving as reality is just an illusion, a holographic field, and different frequential fields creating different informations. And we have immense possibilities of different existences and timelines. And what I'm receiving is for our linear mind needs that understandings of that we are elevating our frequency, and the earth is elevating the consciousness, and we are getting better. So because of a linear mind, the three-dimensional mind thinks and experiencing like this. But the thing is that every dimension, every frequency, and every vibration existed and will exist always. It's depending how you speed up or slow down the vibration, and the characteristic of that field will create an image that your physical mind receives as an image or reality. But it's like, oh, what is all about is just frequencies and information. So yes, how we are perceiving this at this moment through Earth, that we are elevating our frequency, and how we are receiving now that this change happens so intensely now, so immense changes happening and urge to change. And also we can feel in our body that how the frequency speeds up around us, and everything changes. We are changing the frequency dramatically now. And yes, it's if somebody asks me that, is it real and how you are experiencing this change, I would answer yes. This is a reality which replace this illusion. But how I'm receiving this, it's no matter what we are experiencing, it's everything will exist, because it's just all frequency and vibration. And different vibrational field has different characteristics. So what I always say to the persons that connect to me, the most important thing what you can do through your incarnation is to working on yourself, working on your awakening, working on your self-growth, and try to understand your creation and connecting to your spirit, whether you are doing with me with Anfrinit, whether you are doing with other persons. I think this is the only work which matter. This is the only work that you are able to take with you. So when you leave your body from this realm, the only thing which remains is your consciousness that you've gained through this experience. So this is the most important thing that one can give her himself. And when you are understanding how everything creates, then you are able to create your life consciously. So whether you are a good singer, whether you are a good painter, or you love cook, whatever you like to do or love to do, you are able to do that thing from a different, with a different frequency, different vibration and connection, when you open your portals and be able to manifest your divine gift to the world through that connection, and it will receive a whole new level. So I think it's so important for everybody, this work, this inner work.
That was a phenomenal answer to that question. To remember to, that everything is frequency and vibration, and to that we're elevating our frequency and we're returning to that wholeness, that consciousness, and the most important work being to focus on the self and to elevate the consciousness from there and to really come into that truth and express that truth from that new frequency. I thought your answer was perfect. Thank you. So is there anything you want to share, like an example of your work? Do you want to give people a little taste of something that you do, or what are you feeling called at this moment to express and share? Anything that we haven't talked about that you feel like needs to be said?
When I always ask to someone when connects to me that open her himself in front of the work, and more open you are arriving to learn and to receive this teaching, more you can receive. So I'm working and offering the retreats where the person can have the possibility to experience this transformation on themselves. And also I'm assisting people through online, so because someone doesn't have the possibility to travel or assist in person. And through the online space, connecting with them and working on them themselves, they are able to experience how their vessel and how their body shifts and transforms. As I said before, everybody receives a different experience. At the beginning, they receive answers. So normally, when they connect to me, and then when they come to me the first time, they have a bunch of questions from everything, because they are not connected. They are not able to receive the true answer, and they don't know which is the truth. So what they are receiving in the first two answers to their whole questions that they were taking through years and years, and they couldn't receive the proper answers. So I revealed for them all the answers, and how we start to work and pass the time. At the end, they are able to receive their own answers. So they are able to connect, and they are able to receive their own answers. And which is very beautiful for me, when I see them, how they are connected to their divine self, and they start to serve from that divine self. 80% of the person who comes to my retreats or do my program, they change their work, their career, because now they will connecting to the divine self, and they will serve from that guidance. And what they are gaining through that is they are awakened to their independent, stable self. So when somebody enters to my program, they are pendant persons. They are not able to stand their own legs. I mean, we have different mirrors around us, and through these mirrors you are able to see your own self, who you are. And we have a few main mirrors. One is the food, other is the money, other is the health, and the fourth is our relationships. These four mirrors are the main mirrors, and through that mirrors you are able to learn through this reality here. and they are entering to my programs being pendant and not able to stand their own feet. When they see back in that mirrors, they are not individuals uh, who are able to stand there with security and safety. And what I revolve for them through Anfrinit to break the illusion of all these mirrors and be able to connect to their own self through that mirrors and discovering their independent state through that mirrors. So when I'm referring, it's a normal person, for example, if the body starts to produce different physical symptoms, we can call them illnesses, for example, the person doesn't know what happens with the body. So not aware why my body produces that symptoms and am I able to resolve that symptoms or not. So they start to call different persons to ask for help, ask for guidance, but they cannot feel their safe net through that mirror. So I think it's again a very big power in the hand when you receive this knowledge and this consciousness of you are able to auto-regulate your own system. You are able to auto-heal your own body, and you will understand how to do it. So I think it's already a big liberation for you. And then the other is, for example, food-wise. A normal three-dimensional body, a normal three-dimensional consciousness, always depending of food. So if that person I take to an island where you cannot find the food, that person will starve and maybe die because of starvation, because that person is dependent of the food and the surroundings. But what happens when you dissolve this illusion and you connect into your independent state and you liberate yourself from that dependency and you awaken yourself to be independent in this way also, and just changing your consciousness, be able to establish an energy field where you don't need food, when you don't need external sources from this realm. You are able to maintain your own field, physical field, without falling down. And another is the relationships. So normally persons, they are dependent from relationships also different. So it's not like a partner wise. It's do my parents love me? Do my friends love me? Does society accept me, value me, and all these things? And if they love me, then okay, maybe I'm valuable. So they are making decisions about themselves, of how society, how others behaving with them. And it's another liberation when you are unlock your self-love and you are able to express through you this divine love, and just no matter what others think of you, and you are able to connect it to this true love. When you are not connected, you're in a three-dimensional reality, you try to receive love through these relationships. But when you're connecting to the divine love, it's a whole new level. And at that moment, you are able to express that energy. And then you will vibrating outside and you will nurture your surroundings and not you try to survive from the surroundings. So you try to nurture yourself from the surroundings. It's a different circulation, energy circulation. And then about, yes, the abundance and wealth in your life, you are able to consciously create your own energy field and create your own life. So for me, it's like amazing to see how enters to my program a dependent person without connection, without in a whole illusion and sleeping mode, and how the person realizes the true self, and all these illusions, all these layers just leave aside, and how the self starts to awaken to the independent self of the self. So yes, basically this is how and what happens through the programs. And yes, everybody experiences this in a different way, but it's just amazing to experience and see in others how they change. Even they change their physical aspect. So your aspect, your vibration, what you vibrate here through the physical field, it's a consequence of your energy field, of your consciousness. And when you are awakened, when you are connected, you are vibrating. You are vibrating light. You are vibrating love outside, and then this is what flip back to you, because what you are expressing outside will come back to you. So basically, this is how you create heaven on earth.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. What I'm thinking about is learning to self-source as self as source. That's what, as I was listening to you, I was thinking it's like, because I hear so many people, they have a thought or a feeling and they go looking for the answer out there. They don't know what it means. Someone else or something else does. And there's this process of like remembering and awakening and learning and remembering. I know I already said remembering, but remembering that actually that knowledge, that information lives within us. It's already there. And it's just a matter of like remembering that. So, and I think that's a lot of people are going through that right now. They're used to reaching out for all the answers, and even the mirrors, you know, the mirrors are showing us, and they're such good teachers, right? Because they immediately show us what we're sending out. And I know, you know, some people are very afraid of that, the reflection they see, so they project out. And you know, but then they come to a point where they can actually start to then hold the space enough to say, okay, maybe this is a mirror of what I'm putting out. Let me see what this is reflecting back to me. And you know, then the next layer is then starting to, like, you know, realize that we have all those answers and that wisdom within us, and we can actually send out, and then what we're starting, we can change it within, we can transform it within, and then when we're sending out, what we're getting back and what we're seeing is a whole different reflection. Yet we have to be ready to handle that reflection as well, because sometimes when our true light shines back at us, we can like be humbled by that too, right? So I think it's like these different stages for people of, you know, coming into that point where they can actually hold the reflection of their true light when they see it. And yeah, and it's great because your process supports and guides people through that. And I'm curious, do you want me to share your website? I have your website pulled up. Do you want me to share screen and bring it up, or is that not necessary? I'm going to link your website below. Is there anything you'd like to
Yes.
share on there?
Yes, I just recently finished because I received in December that I have to rewrite it. So I redesigned and rewrite it. And then also you can see there the whole Anfrinit system and what it is, all the explanation, the different models.
Okay, so I pulled up your website, and if you want to tell me where to go here, what you'd like to point out to people.
Yes, here this is about it's says my transformation and my path, how I have received all this, and also speaks from Anfrinit, what is Anfrinit, so you can learn from her a little bit more. And then we have the programs and the opinions. You can see a bunch of opinions of different retreats that I already hold. So people share their experience. You can see in a deep video form from the retreats that we had, or also in a written form. Although through the video you can receive more information, I guess.
Yeah, this is great. So I love this one. It is essential for my own spiritual growth. I love the membership program and know that it is essential for my own spiritual growth. It has been incredibly helpful to shift energetically by experience and not just through mental concepts. Thank you, Adrienn, from the bottom of my heart. I'm so grateful. There's a lot of positive testimonials and feedback here. This is beautiful.
Yes, and actually I have a lot more, but I didn't have time to put all these.
Yes.
Yes.
And then the
And
program is this one, the Anfrinit system.
yes, you can learn from the Infinite system and then write everything, how it arrived to me and what it is. And then you can learn about each modules, module 0, 1, and 2, and 3.
Okay, and is this primarily, either through retreat or through your program is how people work with you, right?
Yeah, this is the way how they can work with me, because how I work with people, if it's a work together. So you need to do your work, and then I help you to work on you. It's not something channelization that you just sit back and I channel for you all the information.
Right.
I do private sessions also, but for the people who did my program or are part of the membership program, at least 4 months. Amfrinit also created a membership program. Each month she shares with us different topics, and through the different topics we have different practices. So each month I share through this membership program a topic that I received from one friend that month we have to work, and then I channel all the information that Amprint would like to share with us about that topic, and then I channel a practice which is sometimes some conscious movement, sometimes breathing, and sometimes guided meditations. So we have this, and also we have in the membership program once a month a live call where we are doing a live meditation, where you have a possibility to connect to this portal of Anfrinit and be able to lift up your frequential field. And then also after this meditation, we have a Q&A. So you can share with me your experience, and you can ask any personal guidance from Anfrinit, and I will channel through her and give it to you what you have to know and hear at that moment.
Excellent. So you've got the membership, and then what's the crystal essence? What is this one?
Yeah, a lot of things. Crystal Essence arrived me year before, so it has 1.5 years. And Amprint asked me to create an ocean essence. This is what you can find in a bottle, and with the crystals. So when somebody orders this crystal essence, I personalize this essence to the person. I start to work with it. Normally, I work 1 or 2 weeks with your essence, and then I download the codes which you need that moment to work. And then when you receive that essence and when you spray into your aura, it starts to lift up your field, your aura, your energy field, and you start to receive those codes into your field that you need that moment. And also I grant this information into the crystal, and the crystal connects to a light being, and that light being assists you through this inner work. Each crystal essence is for a message for a period. So when you finish that bottle, you can order another one with a different message and with the next work that you have to do. Anfrinit created or wanted to create this essence to transmit these codes through the liquid form and through the crystal form to the person, and like this working in more effective way on the person's energy field. And also what I use crystal essence to spray all the room where I am. It can clear the room and also lift up the frequency of the room.
Wonderful. I love it. That's great. That's so important. That's another component that's really nice to add. Like the essence and the aroma and the crystalline and the liquid form as we're going through transformation to support that process, that awakening, that reprinting, or that's not the right word, but the restructuring of the blueprint, and having that liquid oceanic connection in it with the crystals. So I love that this is part of your process too.
I can send it to you one if you want.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. And do you have any retreats coming up soon that people might want to know about?
Yes, in a few days, I will start to guide the first Module 0 retreat, the Atlantis Water, that will start on Friday. And then I will have in October in New York a Module 1 retreat. So anybody who is in the US and would like to work with me, I welcome you to the October retreat to New York.
That's exciting, and I'm assuming that through your website, people can connect in with the retreat, or by finding you on social media, they can get information more about either of the retreats, but probably the October one, since the other one's happening like in a couple of days.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, excellent. Is there anything here in this moment as we kind of round towards the end of our conversation? Is there anything else that's coming through that you feel would be important to share?
Nothing. I'm just so grateful for you for being here and be such an amazing soul. I really enjoyed to connect with you and dive deep into your energies. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you. And thank you so much as well for connecting. And I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm honored that you wanted to join me here and share what you're doing with the world in this space. And yeah, I think it's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.